Look, I don't see the Redskins getting beyond, like a great output for them would be 24 points.
Yeah.
I don't really see them crossing the 20-point threshold against the Houston Texans. Like, there's no reason for me to believe they're going to be dramatically better. Slightly better, sure. But I don't see them scoring enough points to keep up with the Houston Texans team.
Well, they could be if they just – all they have to do is finish one or two more drives than they normally do. One or two more drives. Finish it off.
I know, but they always stub their toe, and there's no reason for me to believe that all of a sudden this can be the game
Well,
where
you know
they have
why?
no holding penalties.
Fewer holding penalties. They don't have – listen, they have been the
But they're
worst.
facing the best pass rush maybe they've faced all season long.
Just don't hold them. You'll be fine. Just
well,
don't
then
hold
J.J.
them.
Watt's going to get to Alex Smith.
No, just
and
get
Alex
rid of the
Smith,
ball.
who only commits a turnover every couple of games, probably will commit one or two.
It might be worth a turnover if you have fewer. They have more penalties than their team. They're averaging 8.7 penalties per game over the last 3 weeks. That's
Look, you're
worse
making
than
an
the
argument
NFL.
for the Redskins, and I don't
I'm not.
disagree
I'm
with
picking
you.
the Texans.
I know, that's the point.
I'm picking the
You're
Texans, but I still think that they can. There's still more out there. In my opinion, the offense hasn't hit on all cylinders yet. They've underachieved.
I
You
don't
can say
disagree
this is
with
who
that,
they are, but I think
what
they've
is hitting on all
underachieved.
cylinders for this Redskins team?
Well, 24
See,
points a game.
I think it's a lot lower than what you think.
Yeah. It
I think
hurts.
sadly, I think they're a team they're just stuck in this rut of scoring 20 to 21 points per game.
Well,
They're
they
just-
are stuck there, but I think they could break out of it. I've seen improved play from Alex Smith over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
I think slightly.
Yeah.
There's been a slight uptick.
Yeah, I
And
think
look,
it's
he's won 4 out of the last 5 games because he's taking care of the ball. That's the formula. Take care of the
But
ball.
I think he's
I
also-
do wonder, though, with this banged-up offensive line, and they did play well last week, how they're going to hold up against Watt and Clowney.
You're just gonna
Look, Watt gets his against everybody.
they're going to have to run the ball, and they're going to have to do some quick hitters.
I mean,
stuff.
J.J. Watt on Morgan Moses.
It's just going to have to be quick hitter stuff. Of
There's gonna
course.
be a lot
Not going to
of-
have all day to throw, of
It's
course.
going to have to be a lot of helping out, chipping, extra tight ends,
Yeah.
running backs helping out
It's
with
not
the
going to
blocking.
be exotic. It's going to be pretty basic, which is what they are. But they can execute basic things. I don't know. They just need to not have as many penalties and sustain some drives. It's going to be the formula winning ugly.
Phone number is 800-636-1067. Your take
it
on the
happens.
Redskins-Texans matchup. Now, part of me, I would give the Redskins about a 40% chance to win this game. I'm going to pick the Texans, but it's almost a do theory deal. Like Cakes mentioned, the Texans have been fortunate in some of these games. They're
You know what?
6 in a row
you know what,
after dropping their first 3. They're due
kind
a
of like
loss.
they're kind of like the Redskins too. Look at some of their point totals in some of these wins: 19 against the Cowboys, 20 against the Bills, 19 against the Broncos. I mean,
Now, some of those are good
They have some
defenses.
outliers. They put 37 on the board
Broncos and
against
Cowboys
the Colts.
have really good defenses.
Well, so do the Redskins. I mean, the counter there is the Redskins
Although
have.
if you start looking at where the Redskins are ranked now after their last 2 performances, it's not so high.
Okay, so they're plummeting a bit in the yardage categories, but their scoring defense is doing well, and that's all you care about.
It's true.
If you let another team go for 450, yet you hold them to somehow 13 or 17 points, you're doing your job.
You think that the takeaways, which they're generating,
Yep.
you think that is something that you can count on?
It seems to be at this point. I mean, when you're top 5 in giveaway takeaway ratio, it's not a fluke.
Well, haven't
at
they
this point in
gone
the season.
18 straight games? Is that the number with at least one takeaway? Is that the number?
Not sure.
It's something like that. Or maybe it's a pretty impressive number.
I think you can rely on the giveaways being low because Alex Smith, that's his track record. He takes care of the ball. I just don't know if you can count on, when you play the Buccaneers, you play Ryan Fitzpatrick, you can count on a couple of snafus by your opponent. I don't know if you can count on that week in and week out. Maybe you can.
One thing I've
Look, the
noticed.
Falcons took care of the ball,
One
and they
thing.
moved it right up and down the field and put up 38 on them.
One thing I've noticed is I think Alex is getting his receivers more involved. We've seen the emergence of Mo Harris. Even Josh is getting a little bit more involved. Hell, even Michael Floyd, Brian Quick have had a few plays here of late. So I think we're slowly but surely seeing Alex have it's a little, just more options.
I just wonder.
More
look,
options than just dumping it off.
The last 2 weeks, they faced some really bad defenses. The Falcons stink, and the Buccaneers stink defensively. And the Redskins couldn't really do much against both of those teams.
Well, they've
So
had.
I don't know how that changes against an even better defense.
Well, you got another week this offensive line to be together. It's gonna. They were picking street starting them
I understand.
last week. The guys weren't even around and by Wednesday they're in there wearing a starter's jersey. So give them another week together. Another week of cohesion. I don't know. I'm still bullish on them producing more offensively. They're not going to light the league on
Do you
fire.
believe they need to have the running game, though? Like, if you shut down the run,
Eventually.
you don't expect the Redskins to win, right?
Oh, no, it'd be
if
hard.
Peterson has like a
Peterson gets shut
30-yard
down?
rushing game, then it's
Well, they have
not good for
They
the
have to
Skins.
stick with him because he's clearly demonstrated, this version of him anyway, that he can be quiet for a half or 3/4, but he still has enough, if you stay with him, that he could break out and have a big fourth quarter or whatever, or big second half. So you have to stay with him. You can't get in a situation, let's say they stuff him early and then stay away from him. They've got to continue to pound it. It also keeps their offense off the field.
And Peterson said this week that he feels fully healthy.